We were talking earlier on about the notion of public fatigue and even the world of journalism taking its eye off the ball in Ukraine. Do you sense that as well, and does it matter?
So I do sense it. I think it's a natural feature of the way we like to lead our lives, but it's also a huge mistake if that meant that politically and militarily we took our eyes off Ukraine. That the fight in Ukraine is important to us, our prosperity, our security, and it's about our long-term relationship with a very difficult Russia. So we should absolutely not think there is any scope at all to reduce our commitment to getting the best outcome we can in Ukrainian circumstances.
My two guests here, Mark and Elizabeth, were concerned that the prospects for a diplomatic negotiated settlement didn't look terribly promising, whether the UN was up to the job or not. Mark was very interesting on that as someone who used to work there and report upon it. Is it your view as a former Deputy Chief of the Defence Staff here in the UK that this is a situation that can only be resolved militarily?
Well, I think I'll make 2 points. The first point is neither side in this war is done with fighting yet. I mean, neither side has really won and neither side has really lost. And so they think there is more to be gained by continuing to fight. And I think that's probably so. And the second thing is eventually most wars, they aren't end in a crushing victory. They come to an end by discussion. But that discussion occurs when one or other party feels that it won't get any more out of violence. And we're not at that point yet.
Yeah, you've dealt directly with the United Nations yourself when you were serving in the Balkans. Does it surprise you that they don't seem to be on the diplomatic field of battle right now?
Not really, for two reasons. The first is there clearly would be a split in the Security Council, so getting the sort of resolution you need for a decisive UN role, I think, would be very, very difficult. And the UN will also see this war hasn't played out, and it really doesn't have much form of intervening in a war that's underway. And the other point I'd make is, were the UN to consider, for example, putting in a peacekeeping force, you'd have to ask, well, who is good enough, big enough, and risky enough to want to do that? And these operations take generally at least 6 months to get going. So this is a distant prospect.